August 14, 2003. At 12:15 p.m., incorrect telemetry data renders inoperative a power flow monitoring tool operated by Midwest Independent Transmission System Operator, also known as MISO. An operator intervenes to correct the telemetry problem, but forgets to restart the monitoring tool. At 1:31 p.m., the Eastlake, Ohio generating plant shuts down. The plant is owned by Akron-based First Energy. At 2:02 p.m., the first of several 345 kV overhead transmission lines in northeast Ohio fails due to contact with vegetation. At 2:14 p.m., an alarm system fails at First Energy's control room and is not repaired. At 3:05 p.m., a second 345 kV transmission line known as the Chamberlain-Harding line sags into a tree and trips in Parma, south of Cleveland. At 3:17 p.m., voltage dips temporarily on the Ohio portion of the grid. Controllers take no action. At 3:32 p.m., power shifted by the first failure onto another 345 kV power line, the Hana-Jupiter interconnection, causes it to sag into a tree, bringing it offline as well. While MISO and First Energy controllers concentrate on understanding the failures, they fail to inform system controllers in nearby states. At 3:39 p.m., a First Energy 138 kV line trips in northern Ohio. 3:41 p.m., a circuit breaker connecting First Energy's grid with that of American Electric Power is tripped. As a 345 kV power line, the Star South Canton interconnection, and 15 138 kV lines fail in rapid succession in northern Ohio. At 3:46 p.m., a fifth 345 kV line, the Tidd Canton Central line, trips offline. At precisely 4:05:57 p.m., the Samus Star 345 kV line trips due to undervoltage and overcurrent interpreted as a short circuit. Later analysis suggests that the events to come could have been averted before this failure by cutting 1.5 gigawatts of load in the Cleveland-Akron area. In the 2 minutes between 4:06 and 4:08 p.m., a sustained power surge north toward Cleveland overloads three 138 kV lines. At 4:09 and 2 seconds p.m., voltage sags deeply as Ohio draws 2 gigawatts of power from Michigan. This creates simultaneous undervoltage and overcurrent conditions as power attempts to flow in such a way as to rebalance the system's voltage. At 4:10:34 p.m., many transmission lines trip out, first in Michigan, then in Ohio, blocking the eastward flow of power around the south shore of Lake Erie from Toledo, Ohio east through Erie, Pennsylvania, and into southern Erie County, but not most of the Buffalo, New York metropolitan area. Suddenly bereft of demand, generating stations go offline, creating a huge power deficit. In seconds, power surges from the east, overloading the East Coast power plants whose generators go offline as a protective measure. The blackout is on. At 4:10:37 p.m., the eastern and western Michigan power grids disconnect from one another. At 4:10:38, Cleveland separates from the Pennsylvania power grid. At 4:10:39, 3.7 gigawatts of power flows from the east and along the north shore of Lake Erie. It flows through Ontario to southern Michigan and northern Ohio. This flow of more than 10 times greater than the condition 30 seconds earlier causes a voltage drop across the system. At 4:10:40 p.m., flow flips to 2 gigawatt eastward from Michigan through Ontario. This is a net reversal of 5.7 gigawatts of power. It then reverses back westward again within half a second. At 4:10:43 p.m., international connections between the United States and Canada start to fail. At 4:10:45 p.m., northwestern Ontario separates from the east when the Wawa Marathon 230 kV line north of Lake Superior disconnects. The first Ontario power plants go offline in response to the unstable voltage and current demand on the system. At 4:10:46 p.m., New York separates from the New England grid. At 4:10:50 p.m., Ontario separates from the western New York grid. At 4:11:57 p.m., the Keith Waterman Bunts Creek Scott 230 kV lines and the St. Clair Lambton number 1 230 kV line and number 2 345 kV line between Michigan and Ontario fail. At 4:12:03 p.m., Winston, Ontario, and surrounding areas drop off the grid. At 4:12:58 p.m., northern New Jersey separates its power grids from New York and Philadelphia, causing a cascade of failing secondary generator plants along the New Jersey coast and throughout the inland regions west. By 4:13 p.m., cascading failure of 256 power plants has brought them all offline, 85% of which went offline after the grid separations occurred, most due to the action of automatic protective controls. By 4:15 p.m., most of New York, New Jersey, Maryland, Connecticut, Massachusetts, Michigan, Ohio, and Ontario homes and businesses are without power. Power begins to be restored in some areas by 11 p.m. Most power is not restored until 2 days later, and in some rural areas, it takes 5 days. The blackout contributes to at least 12 deaths. An estimated 55 million people are affected by the blackout. The ensuing investigation determines that First Energy and its reliability council failed to assess and understand the inadequacies of FE's system, particularly with respect to voltage instability and the vulnerability of the Cleveland-Akron area. It's found that First Energy did not recognize or understand the deteriorating condition of its system, that it failed to manage adequately tree growth in its transmission rights of way, and finally, the failure of the interconnected grid's reliability organizations to provide effective real-time diagnostic support is mentioned. In a nutshell, somebody or several somebodies dropped the ball.